next. Keep it here on Access TV.
I'm like Rocky, man. Just put me on the treadmill.
Sunday! Eddie needs to cut weight.
He's got a sugar addiction.
The race is on to trim down for the Loudwire Awards.
Heavy metal rock, baby!
On a new Real Money. Sunday at 9:30, 8:30 Central on Access TV.
All right. Sunday is an all-new episode of Rock and Roll Road Trip. We're headed to Denver, Colorado to hang out with my buddies Nickelback. What more do you want to accomplish in this space, in the rock and roll superstar space?
Anybody who they want to just keep that roller coaster ride going for just a little bit longer.
It's an all-new episode of Rock and Roll Road Trip with me, Sammy Hagar, Sunday at 9 p.m. Eastern, 8 Central, right here on Access TV. Woo!
Money is like life. You have to decide how to get the most from it. So we made you some simple, free tools to help you see all of your money and investments in one place. Which means you can make smart choices about how to spend your money and your life.
Sunday. Filmed at the landmark Chicago Theater. One of the most celebrated songwriters of a generation rocks the stage. John Mellencamp stuns in this extraordinary concert film. Experience Mellencamp. Plain spoken, John Mellencamp. Premiere Sunday at 10/9 Central.
Thank you very much.
On Access TV.
The sound of the record made me feel like I was somebody else. That's what I want to sing. I want to sing that. The spokesman of a generation, the conscience of this and that and the other. I mean, that I could not relate to.
What do you want me to say? You want me to jump up and say hallelujah or crash the cameras or do something?
I was born very far from where I'm supposed to be, and so I'm on my way home.
Welcome back to the beautiful Sanford Pentagon in Sioux Falls, South Dakota for Legacy Fighting Alliance number 37. Great night of fights so far here in South Dakota. Ron Kruk along with UFC Hall of Famer Pat Miletich. I knew you were excited for this card because of all the wrestlers, and so far they have not disappointed.
No, the last fight was great. Going at it. Jordan Larson pulling out the victory. We've seen a lot more.
Yes, we are, and it's all title fights now. Coming up next, it's the Women's Flyweight Championship up for grabs, and we check out our Access TV fights rankings. Number one in the women's MMA, this is both the 125-pound and 115-pound weight division. Sitting atop the rankings, Sabina Mazo, 4-0, 2-0 in the LFA, taking on the veteran Shannon Sin, who comes in at number 5. She has faced some killers in this division. You can check out the Access TV Fights rankings anytime at access.tv/fight rankings. Pat, this should be a very intriguing matchup. Youth versus experience. What are the keys to both these ladies walking away with a victory tonight?
Well, again, like I said in the beginning of the night, Mazo is really a finesse fighter, a technical fighter, very good on the ground, very good standing up with finesse. She thinks her way through fights. She's a timing fighter. She's great at timing her strikes, getting out of the way of stuff, timing kicks over the top of punches when fighters aren't pulling their hands back or on the separation, the breaks. That's a classic Muay Thai technique.
Right.
So she's going to want to keep this thing standing as much as possible. In my mind, she doesn't want to be underneath Shannon Sin. Shannon Sin obviously wants to use that muscle. She's a very strong lady for this weight division. She wants to put Mazo up against the cage, get the takedowns, and make her carry her weight and turn it into literally a street brawl, Ron.
Absolutely. Shannon Sin was very clear in our fighting meetings yesterday. She wants to make this a very nasty fight.
Ugly.
Well, Sabina Mazo is the first Colombian female to compete in MMA in the United States. And speaking with Sabina Mazo's coaches, David Gonzalez and her team, she has really become kind of a national hero in the country of Colombia. As you can see here from some of the pictures they sent, her team has placed some huge banners across the city's main street. She has more than 20 full pages in the main newspaper. She's been featured on television and in a film documentary. She also, I want this, Pat, she also has her own song made by one of the most famous rappers in Colombia.
Well, I mean, why isn't she walking out to it? We talked about that, right?
Oh, that's a good question.
She's very young. She's an exploding star. This is a big fight for her tonight. This is going to be a tough fight for her tonight.
Known as the Colombian Queen for good reason, the 21-year-old has now set her sights on capturing MMA gold in the U.S.
My name is Sabina Mazo. I'm 20 years old and I'm from Colombia, Medellin. I started training when I was 15 years old. I got to the national team in boxing, and from there I started doing MMA. I beat the best girl in Colombia in my division and moved on to Costa Rica, beat the best girl over there. I decided it was time to move on and to grow as a fighter and as a person. I decided 2 years ago to move to United States to get into MMA and found the right place to go to college. That's my life. I go and train, also study nutrition. I love my work. I have fun doing it. I enjoy training. Well, yeah, I wish I could do it for the rest of my life.
That is a highlight reel knockout if ever I've seen one.
Fighting for the title is one more fight. I mean, it's a great opportunity, yes, but I feel every fight has its importance. If it's a title or not a title, it's the same thing. You're stepping there to the cage. You have to do your best, but it's just one more step forward. All my preparation has come to this. It's time to step in the cage.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's now time for the LFA 37 co-main event of the evening. Introducing first, making her way to the blue corner, Sabina, the Colombian Queen Mazo.
Undefeated at 4-0, 2-0 in the LFA, Sabina Mazo, now living and training in Huntington Beach, California at King's MMA, and with head coach Rafael Cordero, whose advice for Mazo for this fight was to just really feel Sin out, Pat, and then react to what she does.
Yeah, she's got a well-balanced game. Again, she's got a lot of boxing experience. She's got a lot of Muay Thai experience, a lot of grappling tournament experience. She puts it all together very well in the sport of mixed martial arts. She needs to, remain calm and figure this out and fight her fight. Don't let Shannon Sin control the fight. She's 4-0, still relatively new to MMA. 4-0, though. We saw another 4-0 fighter fall earlier tonight in Dakota Bush.
Good point.
So, look, Shannon Sin at 5-5, you would look at her record and say, whatever. But if you looked at Randy Couture's record and didn't know whose name was attached to it, you wouldn't think anything of it either.
Mazo coming off back-to-back head kick knockouts that made her famous in 2017 against Jamie Thornton. And Lindsey Williams.
There's the head kick on the separation that she times, and here's the punch coming at her. Watch the punch come at her, and then the hand does not come back to the head. She's a timing fighter. She sees patterns. If a fighter sets patterns and give those away, she'll find it, find the hole, and hurt you.
And now her opponent making her way to the outside.
Originally from Mount Pleasant, Iowa, now fighting out of North Glen, Colorado. Shannon Sin, despite her 5-5 record, Sin has faced some tough competition, including former LFA champ Andrea Lee and Christine Stanley. Both those losses were by way of decision. On the heels of her 39th birthday, Sin gets the biggest opportunity of her career. And speaking of the former LFA flyweight champion, Andrea Lee, you want expert analysis? You got it. Andrea Lee just tweeted to us that Shannon Sin is a battle-tested and KGB approved. I think this is Mazo's toughest opponent thus far. Don't let Sin's record fool you. She is a real flyweight. Thank you, Andrea. Shout out to her. And, of course, husband Donnie, as we see some of the action here of Shannon Sin in her last fight.
Yeah, no, she's a scrapper. She's fought so many tough ladies. Beaten some, lost to some, but she's there to fight all the time. She's living her dream at 39 years old, a late starter, but she does not have a lot of miles on her body. That's the difference. It's not age. It's definitely miles.
Here's the tale of the tape for our co-main event. At 21 years old, Mazo is 18 years younger than the 39-year-old Sin. Fighters weighed in at 124 pounds. Mazo will have almost a 4-inch reach advantage in the leg.
Fight fans, this contest is scheduled for 5 5-minute rounds for the LFA Women's Flyweight World Championship. It is brought to you by USEN, Send Money Worldwide. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, this Muay Thai Jiu-Jitsu specialist stands 5'7", weighing in 124.2 pounds. She holds a professional record, 4 wins, 0 defeats, with 2 wins coming by way of knockout. Training out of King's MMA and fighting out of Huntington Beach, California, Sabina, the Colombian Queen Mazo. Her opponent across the octagon, fighting out of the red corner, is a freestyle fighter standing 5'7", weighing in 124.7 pounds. She holds a professional record, 5 wins, 5 defeats, with 1 win coming by way of knockout, 1 via submission. Training out of Grinders Fitness and fighting out of North Glen, Colorado, Shannon Sin. Your referee, Joe Sullivan.
All right, ladies, we've been over the rules. Protect yourself at all times. Obey my commands at all times. If I tell you to stop, you must stop. Touch gloves if you want. Go back to your corner if you're ready to fight.
The LFA Women's Flyweight strap up for grabs. According to MMAOddsBreaker.com, Sabina Mazo, a big favorite, minus 665, and the comeback on Shannon Sin, plus 475. We are underway, scheduled for 5 5-minute rounds. Shannon Sin in the black, Sabina Mazo in the white and black. Sin made it clear she wants to disrupt the timing of Sabina Mazo and make this an ugly fight.
That's a right hand there. Gotta keep those hands high. She's doing a good job of it so far. Mazo, crisp jab there.
By far the toughest test yet for the 21-year-old from Colombia, Sabina Mazo. These two originally were going to fight last year. Shannon Sin accepted the fight, but Sabina Mazo's camp wanted to wait. They know how dangerous Sin can be. Oh, shot got through from Mazo. Fighters exchanging.
Trying to get that head kick in.
Shannon was very aware of that head kick.
Mazo controlling distance, though. That's the difference right now. See that jab, just poking. Shannon got to move her head.
She doesn't want to stay in that range for sure. Big right from Mazo.
The head kick was ready to come there.
Yes, it was.
She's going to throw a flurry and then a head kick eventually here.
Body kick from Mazo.
She's flurrying on Sin right now. Just walking forward and punching.
Mazo taking it to the veteran Sin. Early high kick. followed up with a couple of strikes. Wondering how tough Shannon Sin is? Well, she took that shot and just kept coming.
Sin needs to get a takedown. She needs to close the gap at least and push her against the cage. I'm sitting here at range on the nice knee, sneakily.
Little shot that Sin has not shot in, especially after that big exchange.
Sin needs to step inside those kicks. Start throwing some.
Just amazing composure.
Mazo's boxing showing right now.
Fans here in South Dakota yelling to Sin, take her down.
We've honestly not seen Mazo this authoritative with her boxing ever. Even though she has that strong boxing background, started in boxing.
Definitely pushing the pace so far.
Slap to the right side and then kick to the left.
Sin comes back firing. Punches missing the mark. Wisely keeping those hands up to block those head kicks. Mazo back-to-back highlight reel head kick knockouts.
Liver kick there. She's beating on that body with those kicks.
And she scored both those knockouts.
That's a hard kick to the body.
Late in the first round. Can she do it again?
She's trying to knock the wind out of Shannon Sin with those body kicks.
Both those knockouts came with just about 10 seconds left in the opening frame.
Thank you for that run. I'm now keeping an eye on the clock.
30 seconds to go. That's what I'm here for, Pat. Sneaky elbow for Mazo. Strong flurry to end round number one. Shannon Sin survives that first round.
Mazo looking great. As I said, her boxing coming out. Really crisp, great jabs. This was early in the first round when Shannon Sin was still landing now and then. But as the fight went on, Mazo made adjustments. There's the head kick sneaking through. Hit her on the eyebrow. Lucky she didn't get cut with that one. And Mazo doing a great job of landing a lot of kicks to the body towards the end of that first round also.
Pat, were you surprised that Sin did not try to take this fight to the canvas?
Yeah, actually I am. We'll see what she does in the second round. Corner might be saying, all right, listen. Time to look for the ground fight.
Yeah, the game plan, of course, Sin told us, was to make it nasty and ugly and bully her.
She didn't do that. She stayed on the outside and boxed with her the whole time.
See if she changes up the game plan here. Round number 2 underway. Shannon Sin into red tape and black. Sabina Mazo blue tape, white and black. Round number 2 scheduled for 5. The LFA women's flyweight strap is up for grabs. Sin kind of staying in that dangerous range.
Trying to figure out the puzzle is what she's doing. Trying to figure out how to get past all of this stuff. Get into the clinch probably. Got to punch your way through it. Being tight. It takes commitment.
You mentioned it. This is the first time that Mazo is facing a true 125-pounder.
Going to the body big time with that left leg again. Mixing it up. Beautiful job.
Mazo so fluid. comfortable and confident.
Nice elbow. She effortlessly switched from limb to limb with her strikes because she keeps a balanced stance. She doesn't put too much weight on one leg or the other. She can pick anything up and use it. Strike with her hands effectively because she pumps her feet. Look how light she is when she dances away.
Great movement. Lead leg of Shannon Sin is turning bright red in front of us. Counter from Mazo. That landed.
Another body kick.
Those body kicks will begin to wear anybody down. Mazo finding the range. Here we go. Shannon Sin comes back. So smooth, Mazo. Just those shots that lead up to that head kick.
Target practice right now. Shannon Sin going to move that head, slide inside of those punches and throw. Go at the same time as Sabina Mazo because anytime she moves and then throws, you can see Mazo dance away from her like that.
Yeah.
So you got to throw at the exact same time she's throwing something.
Right now, the technique of Sabina Mazo countering the strength of Shannon Sin. Sin comes in firing, and finally she gets into the clinch. See what she can do.
Driving her up to the cage. Smart.
Exactly where she wants to be. Under 2 to go.
Underhook by Mazo. Mazo trying to swirl out of there. There she does.
Mazo made it clear, Pat, she isn't all technique. She was actually kind of psyched for a dirty fight.
Well, she's found it now, at least for the moment.
Mazo pressing Sin up against the octagon wall.
You know, one thing I will say, you know, when you look at Mazo, she does not look like a powerful human being. But when you shake hands with her, she's definitely got a grip on her. She is strong.
Separate as we approach the 1 minute mark in round 2. Shannon Sin from North Glen, Colorado. Sabina Mazo, Colombian Queen. Fighting out of Huntington Beach, California, the #1 ranked female prospect in the LFA. Mazo's 2 victories by way of head kick knockouts, but also 2 decisions. The total fight time on Access TV, only 9 minutes and 16 seconds.
Watch how Mazo moves her feet. Always playing her feet with her when she's throwing punches. Dances away effortlessly. See how she step with those jabs.
Horn sounds, and this will be the first time that we see Sabina Mazo enter into the 3rd round.
So far, it's been a sparring match for Mazo. Standing at distance, using that jab, controlling distance, using the body kicks. Over and over, trying to pound that liver with that left shin bone. She is just threading the needle with all of her strikes. Look at that. Blending her strikes together well.